folks, and welcome to the Filmbook channel. I'm sitting in the woods and I got another really great knife with me, which I want to introduce you to, and I also want to carve something with you. And but first things first, this is another wood jewel knife. This is the Picuol. This is a small one, but look at that handle. It's got a beautiful handle made from reindeer antler, birchwood burl, and a cap out of reindeer antler too. The blade is just 65 millimeters long. The thickness is 3 millimeters. It's got a high Scandi grind to 0. And it's a really great little all-round whittling knife, with one exception, that the tip is a little bit too rounded for my liking, but that's my preference because I'm carving a lot of tight curves and stuff. But that's not a big hindrance. The sheath is pretty standard. It's got a plastic inlay and a thin leather top with a leather thong for a belt loop. No problems with that. It just had some twist to it, which is coming loose, and the twist is rather crucial for the stability. So that's maybe something, but that's a minor gripe. Could do with a little bit of beeswax, but that's all my fault really. Blade comes in as 59 HRC Rockwell on the Rockwell scale. The spine isn't sharpened, but it actually works with a fire steel. The handle is not the biggest there is, but it's, for my hands, it's really comfortable. I don't have exactly big hands, so you might take it to hand and see if it fits. Other than that, for bigger hands, it might be a 3-finger knife, which isn't too much of a problem, but you need to try it out actually. And the thing is that this comes at an amazing price tag. It's just some 39 euros or something, and for 39 euros for this package is frankly insane. So it's been on me for about, what is this? I think I got it in 11 years or something, and or 10 years or something, and I've been using it pretty much because it's a really great little whittling knife. Also, the beautiful handle just brings me joy, and this is something that's not to be dismissed. And I also like to take it to hand because it's just cozy and to my liking. So you might want to try it out. So what I want to do now is I want to carve something with you, and I have brought a little hazel stick. And since campfire season isn't over yet, just removing the fibers, I want to carve some barbecue tongs with you, not tongs, barbecue forks with you, or eating forks. You can use it for a lot of applications. Cleaning up the ends a little bit. I don't need to put a facet on. I want to use the for the fork portion, I want to use this section because there are fewer branches, even though the curvature here would make for a really fine Oh, maybe. Oh, there's a branch, so maybe I can use this one. What I want to do first is I want to split the branch, hopefully along the middle. What I want to do is I work the blade into the front section of the branch, and then I use my wrist to work open the slit. And controlling the direction of the split isn't too easy, but well, it's doable. And if the split, I want the split to go this way, I do this, and if I want it to go that way, I do this. And doesn't work all the time. Sometimes you're just in for a nasty surprise. Now I got two halves, and again you can see that the surface isn't even. It's not rectangular, or there's a little bit of a torsion in it, and this is due to the grain going any which way. And I see that this part has the branch in it, and you can see what happens if there is a branch. There is this bulge in the split, so this is less controllable when you're carving, so I put that aside. Maybe this is suitable for another project, but well, and I take this one, and what I want to do first is I want to remove the pith, and in order to do this, I carve an angle and remove the pith, like so. Doing this on the hind section of the fork too. And the good thing is, if you got some edges to work from, this is really nice to because that's less work to do for you. And so, and you can see what happens if there's a branch. It's a little bit harder to carve, and it is also less controllable. And I'm putting a little bit of a rounded back in there, and then I want to take my knife and mark off the beginning of the fork, like so, and I carve towards myself. So I lock my elbows to the side, and the blade points away from me. So there's less chance of anything happening to me. And you can see there's a branch again, so it's a little bit hard, so I need to work my way around it. So like that. And what I want to do now is I want to flatten the top a little bit, and remove the bark. And if your knife is sharp enough, you can create some really great long shavings. And thing is, this one is, because, and out of the box it was. It's not just that I sharpened it. And now I'm putting a little bit of a more defined fork portion on it. And before I start the to carve the recession that I need for the fork, I want to remove the bark, like so, and then I use sort of a scooping cut to mark off the fork. I want to look that the sides are even, and it's a great asset to have the bark on, so you can better estimate this. So where you are going. Don't carve it all the way thin, because you want some stability left in the wood before you start carving the delicate part. What I want to do now, and please watch your hands, folks, I put the tip near the end, and I carve sort of a bow around it. It's a little bit like drilling, but only the half part of it. You could also drill a hole, but then you're left with the fibers going any which way, like so, and some people don't like that. Take note that I'm also leaving a little bit of space towards the end of the fork, part, and now I want to take my knife like so, and carving away from me, I push with my thumb on one side, already coming loose, and I'm carving like so. Using your thumb to control the cut makes it rather controllable. And now I need to take the other side, and now I'm using a little bit of a potato peeler grip, and I need to apply less force. So what I want to do is I just want to remove the cut, like so. And like that, you can achieve a rather controlled recession. You can also use it like so, but that's less controllable. But if you're in a hurry, this might also work out. But especially with things like the delicate part of carving a fork, you don't want to rush it. And first is if you use a lot of force, the risk is far higher that you hurt yourself, and also the surfaces get a little bit messy, and you might not be getting the best results. Just take it slow and as precise as possible. It doesn't need to be rocket science though, and just sit in the woods, enjoy the scenery, and whittle away. And just a little bugger just bit me. And you can see what happens if you're rushing it. You get off center, and that's nothing that will benefit your carving a lot. So, and if you're nearing the end of the the carving of the split, because you obviously want two thongs of the fork. Prongs? Is it called prongs? You need to use less and less force. Actually, carving a fork is an exercise in patience. And what I used to say to the kids when I was teaching them how to ride a mountain bike, consistent riding is fast riding, and same applies for carving. Consistent carving is fast carving, because if you rush it and you get bad results, you want to recover from the first step all of the time, and that takes far longer than if you were taking your time in the first. And actually, the beauty of carving is that you get into the zone, and that you get into some sort of a flow mindset, and that's pretty amazing. That's a pretty amazing feeling. And if you're rushing it and you get into that production mindset, happens to me all of the time. It's an issue I have, because I got some pretty shitty experiences with working production, but it's not whining intended, because we all have, because systems shit, and constantly trying to prove your worth isn't good for you. Now I'm going from the other side, as you can see, and patiently work my way . I think most of you guys might know Bob Ross, and I really love that guy, because he's always like, no, we add a little bit of here and something there, and he's just got this calm demeanor, and I really love that. It's really good for you, and I think this is something to live by, and and as you can see, this knife is awesome because it's really dexterous. It's very controllable, especially for stuff like this. And there's my Swiss Army knife falling out of there. And it's really dexterous, sharp, and everything you could wish for, actually. And even with a difficult grain, that's awesome. But you can also see what I mean with the tip being a little bit too broad. That's a gripe I would have, but they have other knives in the lineup, or rather Laudin Metalli has, and I already showed you the Whittler blades, and that's not to say it's not doable. You can see me carving along, and it's nothing that would absolutely suck or something. It's just if you want to take your carving to another level, you obviously need to get different tools too. And I'm carving out the insides of the fork. Don't make it too sharp and don't carve it too thin, and try to make it symmetrical. And also keep in mind, this isn't steel. This isn't a steel or aluminum, so it needs a little bit more beef, pun intended, to it, and you can you don't have to carve the thongs of the fork really thin. What I want to do now is, and you can see there's there's still the bark on, and I want to remove the bark, and I want to remove the sharp edges, because, well, it's going into your mouth, and just be careful not to remove too much material, because it also needs a little bit of strength. If you have some heavier barbecue stuff, you don't want it to break on it. And so, just cleaning up a little bit, and you see me doing really light strokes on the fork now. And now I'm removing the sharp edges completely, but always with just a little bit of care. And if you're left with something like this, you can carve a tip on, like so. And also from the inside. The angle of the tip you want to carve should be rather blunt. What this does, it adds a lot of stability to the tip. And taking the other, and also keep in mind long cuts. Long cuts are clean cuts, and what this means is, if you make a long shaving, you get a cleaner surface. And well, I'm carving away the branch of the branch hole now, and carve it a little bit thinner. And you can see, if it looks like this, you get these fiber tear-outs, and then you can see that you might want to try the other direction. And if I'm going that direction, the grain always has an up and a downside, funny enough. And if you get these tear-outs, and you only can achieve small shavings, then it's time to change the direction. On the other hand, if I were to carve like so, okay, that's obviously, that's normally it's the way that the other on the other side, you get one up and one down, and but not on this branch. obviously. And even if you work like so, you can leave on the bark if you want. I will remove it now and remove the sharp edges too and reduce the thickness a little bit. And there's a time and a place where you want to just carve away and putting a little bit of just cleaning it up a little bit, and as I said, long cuts are clean cuts. What I also want to do is I want to add some facets, like so. And you see, this is due to the knife being really great for carving. If you can do something like this, this is what a slate knife should do. You should be able to make rather clean facets, and just like that, you got a serviceable fork. You can always clean it up, obviously, actually, keep in mind, this is not a specialized slate knife. Actually, this is an all-round knife. You can get better achievements with better results with a Swiss Army knife or a Mora slate knife, or another dedicated slate knife, obviously. But thing is, for an all-round Pukov at that price tag, that comes at that ridiculously at a price tag, this is pretty amazing. And you can see that the short blade offers you some advantages as far as controllability is concerned. And you can always decorate the handle of the spoon still, maybe by, I want to put some calf's knit in, and what you want to do is put on some zigzag line or something. Like that. And now you can, or maybe you can't, and now you can carve out the line, and or you could add a little heart at the end, or a spiral, or what have you, or a Celtic ornament or something, and really make it your own fork for your barbecuing. I removed the zigzag line again because I just decided against it, and that's the great thing if you left a little bit material on, that you can actually change your mind. It's not a good thing if you're carving. Normally you really should have a plan. Sometimes you need to let the process guide you, but I think you should have some raw idea on what you want to make, and so that's maybe not good what I just did, but just like that. To finish it, I would suggest you keep some dry shavings, put them in a plastic bag, and rub it down with a coat of oil. Olive oil would be perfectly okay. Don't use tung oil or something which has a really strong taste in itself, or a putrid stench, obviously, because tung oil is something that's really wild. Remember, if you're using linseed oil, to keep every rag you used for applying the oil, for rubbing it down, in a jar with a tight fitting lid in water, because these rags can ignite on themselves. Linseed oil is really flammable and it ignites on itself. So you might want to. Normally, I'm not one for advocating single-use items, but you might want to use a hanky or something to apply linseed oil and then flush it down the toilet, or well, not great because it's oil. Burn it. Just burn it. Never keep anything textile or paperish that has been soaked with linseed oil, especially raw linseed oil. That's pretty dangerous, and it is not really popular with the Greenwood crowd. What I want to say now is you can use sandpaper to further your finish, but you don't have to. I'm getting into get a sentence in Green Woodworking Hell for this, recommending you use sandpaper. Well, and actually that's a fair point, because if sandpaper, especially if you are a beginner, with sandpaper, and it happens to me too, I tend to get a little bit lazy, and because you can use your knife for a really great finish, and it adds character. And not saying that because character would mean it looking rough, but I personally like to see, without irony, by the way, like to see the imprint of the human hand. And even if you are a really accomplished greenwood carver, there always will be some irregularities, and I really love that in the finish. And but that fork isn't in no way perfect, and I could spend hours still cleaning up what I think is a flaw, but actually at that state you could already use it. And given that I see items like this as a process in themselves, actually, because there will be some grease on it, and you will rub some oil into it. It will get a patina. Maybe it will get burned a little bit, or otherwise, and you will find a little flaw you didn't mention, and you just simply cut it away with time. And this is, this will never look the same. And this is what I love about these items, that with age they get more soul, and this is why I love to make things like this too, because it's a little bit of soul in a soulless world, and so. But I will call it quits for now. There could be, as I said, you could put a lot more work into it. It's just a demo piece anyway, but you've seen what the knife can do. Actually, forgot to mention, it's actually pinned over a brass disc that keeps the handle together, but it's also epoxied in, so there will not be a problem if this came loose. This is a pretty great knife for work like this, and the thing is, for that price tag, it's really hard to beat. Another recommendation, and you won't be too far off if you get yourself one. And given that, if you want to really get started with Slöjd, I wouldn't say get it, because the tip isn't. It's a tiny bit unnerving if you are carving tight curves like I just did, and this is a little bit unnerving because the tip takes a little bit more space than a Mora carving knife or something. So you might want to get a Mora, and I will make a video about the Mora whittling knives too, and because I think I haven't already. And these are obviously dedicated Slöjd knives, and you can obviously put them to far better use if you're into Slöjd. What this is a really great foraging knife. It's also suited for skinning, by the way, skinning small game. The small blade makes it really controllable. You won't risk too much stabbing into the guts or removing too much meat if you are skinning your game, and especially with rabbits or something, this might be an issue. Not that you would cut all the time, but for the first cuts on skinning a rabbit, this will be perfectly okay, and or other comparable animals or something if you're dispatching this. Not that I always pity the poor fellows, but on the other hand, I'm not a vegan or some weird religious guy. But I understand that there are hunters. Enough said. And I'm not a hunter either, so and I don't think I would make a great hunter. But this would also be suitable for processing small game. For snacking, well, it depends. If you get some fresh rye bread, as we have it in Germany, and the loaf has a diameter of like so, this would be a little bit, more mutilating than anything. What they do make, though, is they make a combination knife with the carving knife I introduced in the last video, and this one. You get several versions of this. You also get a big Leicu, or a big Leicu and a big Leicu. And this knife, or a big Leicu and the carving knife I introduced, or a smaller Leicu with the carving knife I introduced in the last video, or this one. And if you would make yourself a sheath with a Leicu and the Puukko I introduced you to in the last video and this one, well, you would be pretty much equipped for everything that life could throw at you. um, even I think it would even be a little bit too much, because before I would bring a local, I would rather bring an axe, because the axe is more versatile for the tasks at hand. If you bring an axe and a puukko and a slate knife, a spoon carving knife, and actually I say this because the spoon carving knives, the hook knives I'm referring to, they don't weigh a lot, and so it's not a big issue if you bring them. Different matter if you're on a really long distance hike and you need to take care not to bring too much. Then I would suggest you get a Swiss Army. You bring a Swiss Army knife, or maybe two, and maybe a bushcraft knife. Not even this. Maybe you were well equipped enough with two Victorinox. But as I said, if you're going into the woods and you want to make things and something, this is something you might want to consider. Also, let's be honest, it's a beautiful knife, so that's maybe a factor too. It's just adds a lot of ambience to your camp, and I really love the warm color of the birchwood burr and the contrast of the white reindeer antler, and the sheath is also, it's beautiful. Well, it's not the best quality there is, to be honest. It's rather thin leather, but given this has been on me for 10 years now, and it's still in great working order, if you look after it a little bit, then I don't think you will get severe problems, and you can always buy a new one for, I think it's €7. So go visit their website. It's well worth a visit. They also make awesome kuxas and fire steel wilderness kits with some tin can opener and a bottle cap lifter, which also acts as a striker for the fire steel, with wooden handles and jewelry and some telescopic sausage forks and something. So that this might be well worth a little bit of browsing. Not just because you want to buy something, but because it's just, I think that the website in itself has some sort of a cozy atmosphere in it. It's just something, make yourself a brew and browse through the internet, and we all do this. And it's better than fall for the latest shit posts about how the world's going to hell. Well, the world's going to hell, but if you don't watch the news, it's important, yes, and stay politically informed, and that's what I'm saying, but don't overdo it. Cut yourself some slack and go browse some beautiful websites. They are still existing, and so that's it. If you're in shopping for a new carving knife, then this might as well fit the bill. And they got a lot of variants of these awesome knives, and actually it's a little bit of a love and hate thing, because at one point I really thought I could earn money with knife making, and it's something I really love, so I thought, well, why not make a little bit of cash with making knives. And the fact is, You get an ATCR V2 Laurin Metalli blade, and well, this is a steel that I would also use if I were not to use some heebie-jeebie Guba Lava steel, and which I don't believe in, because I think people should still be able to afford knives and stuff. And well, so, and I could actually do maybe a better job with the tempering, but this better job in the tempering of the blade would result in a blade that's 61 HRC with a selective temper. Well, I did that on the Trollstein. This is what and I don't want to bash myself or belittle myself. It's just the thing is, the Laurin Metalli blades, if I work with an open coal forge, and let's be honest, if you do this, there is also always something that could happen. There is a Heezy's bird flying around, and you are you just, well, your knee buckles or you get a twitch, and it's the tiniest bit too hot, or tiniest bit too cold before the quench, and that normally it isn't a big thing, and I really test the shit out of my blades before I mount them, and including slamming them into the edge of the anvil and levering up the anvil and what have you, and well, and I will take some, well, if I'm working really precisely and thoroughly, I will need some, well, 1.5 hours for a blade, and that's fast, actually. And it only works with the steel that you already buy on the Dimension, and you just forge a tip on it, you forge the edge, and I insist on forging as much as possible. Well, and if you do all this, you need to, in Germany, if I would work as a craftsman, if I were running a business as a craftsman, I would need 75 euros per hour. So the blade, if I forge an ATCR V2 blade with an open coal forge, and I take, including grinding, annealing, and I'm not normalizing, I'm annealing between and doing some deep freezing and stuff, and if I can, and when the blades got an edge, not sharpened yet, not honed, just sharpened, and then I have spent 2 hours on this blade. So before I even prepared a handle or a sheath, I would have to need 150 euros. That is due to me not having the implements. This is, I don't have a factory, I don't even have a workshop. I just take a lot of time for things that would normally not take that much time. So, but if you calculate it conservatively, and you would be able to forge it in half an hour, and you were left with 1 hour, that would still be 75 euros. And custom blades from Finland and Sweden normally cost about as much as that. But that's not taking account of trades, of selling, the salesman, after you just made the blade, because you also need to sell them somewhere, and now enters Laudi Metalli, and they got this consistent temper of 59 HRC, the cheapest ones, and well, they are not perfect. Some of them lose the tip, and some of them are not exactly 59, maybe, but the production line is computer controlled. The quench is computer controlled. There are no exceptions from the quality. It's always the same. They are ground always in the same manner. And let's be honest. Well, maybe I'm on an event and I forged a blade on Sunday, and Saturday was a little bit too funny, and I had a little bit of my fill, and Sunday I'm all crap something, and and then my quality isn't as consistent, and you don't get this with the industrial blades. They are not as good as they could be, but they're well enough. And I'm my own worst enemy in this, but these blades and the Mora blades are a reason why I don't sell knives, because, well, if you make yourself a knife, you need to constantly ask yourself one question: is it better than a knife you can buy for cheap? And that's a pretty tough thing to do. And being realistic isn't not very good for your for your self-esteem. But that's a good thing, because that way you can further up your game. And the thing is, if you get yourself a blade blank, or get yourself a wood jewel, or what have you, Karisuando, not Karisuando, Kawaban Pukopa, Erepu, a lot of manufacturers use these blades, and well, you can't go amiss. It's nothing. It will last you for a long time. It's a really consistent quality, and if it's not, well, you didn't need to put a loan on your house, and so this is something. Nothing wrong with the Castrum. If you can afford a Castrum, buy a Castrum. I'm really convinced of these knives, and really actually got mine with me today. This time the Woodsman. Obviously, this is a really great knife, really decent knife, and probably the last knife you'll ever buy. And if you don't want to buy a lot of knives, buy yourself a Castrum knife. Because, well, wood jewel is great, and it will last you for a long time. It will do everything. To be honest, it will do everything a Castrum also does, not on that level, not as good, and not for that long a time. But if you can live with that, if you're not into extreme bushcraft and or survival or what have you, or a professional hunter, or you're hunting a lot of game or whatever, maybe a wood jewel would suit you fine, and that's something you also need to keep in mind. You need to keep it real, and you need to keep it realistic. And if you want to just get into slating nature and sit on a stump whittling away, not even getting too much into slate or something, that's about it. Well, get it yourself, or would you test it out? And well, let's be honest, we all juggle knives, and you can't have too many knives, so it won't be the last knife you buy. If you bought one beautiful knife, often that's a ticket where your bank account is going downhill afterwards. Not that I'm advocating this. Actually, I try to minimize this because it's silly, and it's something I am strongly advocating against, because, well, it's this consumer mindset isn't, well, it's killing us, and so I don't want to educate this. But on the other hand, even if you say, well, I buy myself a wood jewel because that's what I can afford, and that's what I want, and it's beautiful, and I can make do and forget about every other things, you won't regret it either. Maybe you would, let's be honest, you would maybe think maybe it could offer more performance in that, on that level where you maybe, I'm not there yet. I don't think I will ever reach the level where I reach the limit of even a wood jewel. Victorinox. And actually, I'm at the moment I do some pretty hard work, and because I use them for my job, and I'm really carving a lot of hardwood and making a lot of stuff that you don't normally make with knives that much, because that's not, you don't normally if you want to carve a sign or something, you want to make a sign, these get you put it on a lath and copy the inscription, and let the lath do the work, and or put a laser to it, or just or maybe you burn letters into it or something. That's how it's done commercially normally, and it's all my fault really that I want to insist doing it the traditional way, because I think someone has to preserve this. But enough philosophy for now. I think you got the gist, and I hope that was a little bit inspiring or and helpful, and and you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Thanks for bearing with my my weird endeavors, and stay sane and healthy. Get out there in the forest, enjoy a cup of tea, or sit on a stump carving something or making something. There are a lot of things you can do in order to keep your hands occupied, and keeping your hands occupied is a really great thing to stay on top of the onslaught of feelings and anxiety that's currently constantly thrown at us at rapid fire speed. So this is, I'm deadly serious about this, and this is maybe one of the chief motivations that I'm still using the internet at all, that I think I can offer something, that I have something to say for people in order, well, to make, hopefully make their lives a little less agitated, and just I'm not perfect, you know, and I'm maybe the ugliest thing you've seen on the internet today, and that's not what I'm saying. I'm not the center of everything, but I think I can offer you some inspiration for carving, and I think, or making stuff, or cooking, or what have you, and even if it's some silly walk or something. I'm not the next survival pope or what have you. That's not what I'm saying, as I said. But it really matters to me that you guys out there, even if I don't know you in person, and maybe we will never meet, but if one or the other human being out there watches my videos and thinks, well, that's also something else. And maybe the fact that I'm an ugly shit may inspire you to the mindset that you don't have to live up to the standards that and that are constantly thrown at everyone. And because it's a lie. We all have our little ugly facets and what have you. You don't need to be perfect. And chances, well, you don't even need to be the perfect artist or craftsman or what have you, or the perfect bushcrafter or perfect survivalist or what have you. I'm just a regular guy sitting on a stump carving stuff that's flawed, that's not the best there is, but I don't want to be better than anyone. I want to be better than I was yesterday. This is something that I really want, and that I want to live by. And I hope that comes across. And when I say stay sane and healthy, I mean it. I really, really mean it, because this is something I realized some time ago, that a lot of things in society are a scam, and you are the product. We are the product. I'm not excluding myself. And someone wants you to be agitated, anxious, and depressed, and but there are ways around this, and this is what I want to say. And carving is scientifically proven to relieve that. So that's an act of rebellion. Not a big one, but well, as I said, stay sane and healthy. Enjoy the forest. And I hope to see you soon. Bye.